All right, so for this project, as our end goal is we're trying to use InDesign to make a template that is what we call press ready. That means it'll print out and it has crop marks on it, so the can get into production and have that ready for that. All right, so what I had said for most of our video projects is, since they are videos, we can kind of play them, and I would do it full screen, right? And you can kind of get to a frame that you think represents your project. So maybe something like that. And then I'm going to use the snipping tool to basically take a screenshot. Now you could do this in Premiere also, but I figured just staying all within YouTube might make life a little bit easier. All right, so I make my screenshot, and then I'm going to save it. For file management, we should probably be making a folder called Art Magazine. All right, where should I put mine? So I'm going to make a folder in here called Art Magazine. And I'll save this here. All right, so then what I'm going to do is get my QR code ready, all right, because we know that we can't really view a video on a printed publication. So we're going to take the link to this video, I'm going to copy it, and then in the site that I tagged onto the classroom today, or you can just search for this QR code generator, we would just paste in our URL as it is, right? And here is our QR code that it makes. So we're going to save this image to that same folder. All right, so I've had it in here. Here's my QR code. All right, so that's our prep work. Now, to actually create our page template or our layout, we can click on this link from the classroom, and that will open it in, or allow us to download it rather. And you can click right here to open it in Adobe InDesign. We're working on getting the fonts, because that was something on the Mac side. All right, so I'm just going to close this when our font message comes up, and we will install that. So once we have our template opened up, then we can choose whether we want our image to bleed or not to bleed. That is the question, right? So if we want our image to go over the page edge, you would use this one. All right, if you want it to have some white space around it, you would use this one. Please do not move the location or the size of the frame. That will really make our pages ununiform, all right? And our end goal is to have a PDF, and that will not be editable. So be very careful not to move this box around or resize it or anything. All you're going to do is click on the picture, if this was the case, and you can do File Place or Control D. Either one will work. All right, and then we're just going to path to where our image is. So I can say here, I'm going to go to my folder. All right, so the picture comes in, and we want it to basically fit, kind of have similar proportions there. So if I click up on the toolbar on the top, we have some fitting options here. Fit proportionally is usually the best one to use. All right, so that it fits that image proportionally in there. You might get a little bit of cropping happening, but that should generally work. And then we're just going to replace the text down here. And again, don't change size, location. All right, so I'm going to put my title. I'm going to put my name. And then I'm going to, I think the best place for the QR code would kind of be like right here, or I don't know. I feel like just for symmetry, I was going to put it right in there so people identify and see it. So I'm just going to place again, and here's my QR code. I can kind of click here and then resize it, and then fit again proportionally. And I think that that would be a decent layout for us to use on this for our video. So then all I would do is just delete this second spread or page, so we only have one of them, and then I would resave it. So do a save as, put your name at the beginning, go in that same place that we had everything else. We had everything all nice together. And then finally we are going to make a PDF. So we're going to do File, Adobe PDF Presets, we do high quality print, save this to the same place. And you want to make sure that when you come in here, there's two settings that are really important. And they're under marks and bleed. So we want to have crop marks. We want it, and especially if you are using this the bleed layout. If you're not, then you don't have to do this next section with bleed. I mean, you could, it won't make much of a difference. So we want to add an 1/8 inch of bleed, which is 0.125, and our offset distance we want to put the same, and that just makes the crop marks go outside of your bleed area. All right, so export that. I know we're still getting a font message, so hopefully we should be able to correct that. It did replace it with something anyway. And then in the end, what you get is a PDF which doesn't need any fonts or images. They're all embedded into there. We have our QR code which somebody could scan, and then we have our crop marks which allow for bleed. All right, so this would be our final page that we would have there. And I think that would do it for that. So I'm going to say by today, you guys should have your PDFs. All right, choose something, and that should be submitted into the main DVC classroom. All right, so it shouldn't take too long to find that and put that in there. If you have questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I am going to upload the video on this.